Alright, so in this video, let's take a look at finding the surface area of a pyramid that has a rectangular base. Alright, so you can see it's a pretty big formula. It's the surface area is length times width, plus w times the square root of h squared plus l over 2 squared plus l times the square root of h squared plus w over 2 squared. Alright, so I'm going to take some time to go through the formula and show you where each piece of the formula comes from, and then we'll get to the example. Alright, so obviously here, the length times width, okay, that is going to give us the area of the base, okay. That's the area of the base, the first part. Alright, so now let's talk about these two parts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get one of them, and then the other one is similar. Okay, so let's look at this. You see the sides of the pyramid here, all these four sides here, they're just triangles. That's all they are. So what I want to look at is and I know this isn't drawn very good, but I want to look at this side of the pyramid. Okay, if we look at it, if we're standing over here looking at the side in that direction, it's going to be a triangle. It's going to look just like this side. Okay, that's what we would see if we were standing over here looking at this side. Okay, so look at this. Basically, what we're doing is finding the area of a triangle here. So if we come in here, this triangle here, you see this piece right here. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. But this is the height. Okay? Yeah, that line's supposed to be straight. I know it's not. But that would be the height of the triangle. Okay? So how are we going to find the height here? Well, if we bring this over here like this, and then see how we have this height here, that's a right angle. Okay, that's a right angle. I have a right triangle right here. So this distance here is half this length. So that would be L over 2. Okay, so let's just call this height right here the height of this triangle, because we already have h representing this height, so I don't want to label it h. But let's just call that, I don't know, we can call it anything. Let's call it x. Okay, so let's find the area of this triangle here. All right, so remember, the area is equal to 1/2 the base times the height to get the area of this triangle here. Well, the area, well, we have the base, which is w. So that would be, so the area would equal 1/2 w times the height. Well, we need this height right here. Okay, well, this is the hypotenuse of this right triangle here. Okay, that's the hypotenuse. So remember that the hypotenuse squared is equal to this side squared plus this side squared. Okay, and so x, the hypotenuse, is equal to the square root of h squared plus l over 2 squared. And so if we take this right here, which is the height of this triangle, and plug it in, now this h is different than this h. Okay, this h is representing this right here. So we're plugging this in here, so that is going to give us the square root of h squared plus l over 2 squared. Okay, so that's the area of this face of the triangle. Okay, now, so you see that right here. So you might be thinking, well, this down here has a half and this one doesn't. Well, this face and this face are exactly the same. They're just on opposite sides. So if we multiply this times 2, you see how the 2's cancel? And we're left with w times the square root of h squared plus l over 2 squared. And that's where this comes from. And then you can look at it similar, find the area of this face, multiply that times 2 for the area of this one back here, and you will get the other one. Okay, so I hope that helps you make sense of it. So um, let's take a look at an example. All right, so we have our uh, problem here. It says find the volume of the rectangular pyramid whose length is 5 centimeters, width is 2 centimeters, and height 8 centimeters. So we can come over here and just make a rough sketch of it. Okay, so we've got the length is 5 centimeters, the width is 2 centimeters, and the height of the pyramid, h, is 8 centimeters. So let's write our formula down. So we get the surface area is length times width plus w times the square root of h squared plus l over 2 squared plus l times the square root of h squared plus w over 2 squared. And now we're just plugging everything in. The 5 replaces everywhere there's an L. The 2 replaces everywhere there's a W, and the H and the 8 replaces everywhere there's an H. And so we get the surface area, L times W, so that's 5 times 2, plus W, which is 2, times the square root of H squared, so that's 8 squared, plus L over 2, so that's 5 over 2 squared, plus L, which is 5, times the square root of h squared, which that would be 8 squared, plus w, which is 2 over 2 squared. All right, so let's see what we get. We get 10 plus 2 times the square root of 64 plus, and then if we square this, that's going to be 25 over 4 plus 5 times the square root of 64 plus 1. And so, well, I know this is quite a bit to put in your calculator, so that's 2, and then that's the square root of, well, let's see, 64 plus 25 over 4. Let's see, 64 plus 25 divided by 4 is 70.25. 70.25 plus 5 times the square root of 65. And then this, you just punch it into your calculator, so that's 10 plus 2 square root of 70.25 plus 5 square root of 65, and we get, for the surface area, 67, and I'll round to 1 decimal place, and that is cubic centimeters. And you know another way that you can write cubic centimeters is you could write centimeters cubed. I'm sorry, my mind was somewhere else. Square centimeters, we're dealing with area, volumes cube. Okay, so, or you could write centimeters squared. Okay, all right, so I hope this video helped. Give me a like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. All right, thanks for watching.